Alrighty, YouTube, Niner Empire, what is going down? Welcome back to another video. So the Seattle Seahawks are interviewing Texans offensive coordinator Bobby Slowik for their head coaching job. Obviously, Bobby Slowik was with the 49ers just a year ago as their passing game coordinator. He left with D'Amico. D'Amico lured him to come join him in Houston. And what Bobby Slowik has been able to do this year with C.J. Stroud is remarkable. It's not really surprising that we're sitting up here talking about Bobby Slowik potentially being a candidate out there for a head coaching job. It was kind of always definitely, a possibility that was going to happen, and it seems like right now it's coming to fruition. Now, I don't know if Bobby Slowik will immediately take a head coaching role within his, first year being an offensive coordinator. At least I think. I don't know if Bobby Slowik has had any other stint as an offensive coordinator. It looks like he hasn't. So this is his first stint as an offensive coordinator. But, Bobby Slowik, he was with us from 2017 to 2018. As our defensive quality control coach. He then moved up to an offensive assistant in 2019 to 2020. And then in 2021, he was our offensive pass game specialist. 2022, he got promoted to offensive passing game coordinator. And then obviously now, again, he's with the Houston Texans out there with D'Amico Ryans. And obviously they're still alive. They're a divisional round team right now. They really have impressed, I think, a lot of people this year just from what they've been able to do with, minimal weapons. But not only that, you look at the Texans team going into this year, and they really weren't expected to win but probably 2 or 3 games. And that was kind of like their expectation. But again, what they've been able to do this year all in all, it's all kudos to D'Amico, Bobby Slowik, that coaching staff. Really, the offensive coaching staff is kind of what's made it possible for Houston this year. I mean, they've really, up until this point, they have one of the most high-powered offenses in the entire league with a rookie quarterback in C.J. Stroud. So, again, I would expect Bobby Slowik to probably continue to interview for some of these other head coaching roles, but it'll be interesting to see if he decides to kind of stay as a coordinator for a couple more years before, I guess, going to a team and being their head coach. But again, I think he's very well deserving of it. I think he's one of the more intriguing offensive minded, one of the younger, good, elite offensive, minded head coaches or just assistant coaches in the league. So I definitely think Bobby Slowik's an option out there for multiple teams, but at the same time, I could see him staying as an offensive coordinator just to get more experience before moving on to a head coaching role. But at the same time, there's so many opportunities for Slowik this year to become a head coach that it really wouldn't surprise me if a team interviewed him and really liked him and thought he was an intriguing, would be an intriguing hire for that respected team. But again, it wouldn't shock me if that was the case and that ended up happening. But to me, I think it's smarter on Bobby Slowik's part to probably remain as a coordinator for at least 1 year. But really, in all reality, what he's proved this year is enough to look at him and be like he's doing this with a rookie quarterback, with a team that wasn't expected to win a lot of games this year, but he's doing it well, and he's doing it at a high level. So again, it really wouldn't shock me if we seen Bobby Slowik become a head coach. But obviously just wanted to come on here and talk about that because, for one, he's a former 49ers head coach and a divisional rival, and the Seahawks are requesting to interview with him. And that would be the most Seahawks move ever, is to hire one of the most highly touted offensive minds in the game as a coach. And not only that, but hire a guy that was with their divisional rival for quite some time to kind of lead them. So it would be the most Seattle Seahawk move ever. So I definitely could see them moving forward with this, but obviously something to keep an eye out on as John Snyder and that Seahawks organization, obviously looking for a head coach, needs to hire one fairly soon. And it's also going to be interesting, too, like we've seen Adam Peters do his introductory press conference today with the Commanders. And it's honestly shocking to me that Adam Peters didn't wait until the 49ers season was over to, I guess, do his introductory press conference. But at the same time, he is an executive, and it's much different when it comes to, executives, I guess, leaving before the season's over, because they really aren't doing much for the team while they're playing. They're really just doing all the behind-the-scenes work, the drafts, the off-season things. So interesting to see him obviously kind of take that role immediately once the news came out. But again, it's not like we absolutely need him on the sidelines. Like, he's not a coach. He's just a front office guy, and he's got work to do as well. Like, he's got to, hire a new head coach for the Washington Commanders and figure out what he's doing with his staff. I know Martin Mayhew, obviously, is no longer the GM of the Commanders, but he hasn't been fired in any way, shape, or form. And obviously, I said when, I made videos on the Adam Peters thing that Martin Mayhew and Adam Peters worked with each other with the 49ers, so it's not surprising to me, or I guess it wouldn't be surprising to me to see him stay in the Commanders and have some type of executive role moving forward with Adam Peters, because, again, familiarity's there. They've worked with each other. They're familiar with one another. It makes sense. But yeah, so Bobby Slowik interviewing for the Seattle Seahawks job, obviously, something that is going to be monitored, and we'll see what happens with a lot of these other teams when it comes to hiring head coaches. But, yeah, man, we'll see what happens with Slowik. Obviously, I think, without a doubt, he's one of the more intriguing younger coaches in the league, so obviously it'll be interesting to see, if a team bites on him this year to become their head coach or if it'll be down the road. But, yeah, as always, go Niners. I'll see you guys in the next one.